The biggest lie in tree care is that you need to be a fearless climber to become successful in this industry. Look, my channel is called James Can't Climb for a reason. But here's the truth. The tree guy stereotype is dying. Today, our is a high-tech, high-science, multi-billion-dollar industry with 4 distinct paths you can take, and 3 of them don't even require you leaving the ground. By the end of this video, I'm going to break down the 4 main career paths and which one fits your personality, the 0 to hero roadmap, which is exactly how to get certified without going back to college, and the one mistake 90% of beginners make that kills their career in the first 6 months. If you want a career where you're never stuck in a cubicle, you need to see this. Every morning, I wake up to a job that actually matters. No fluorescent lights, no cubicles, no long list of paperwork, no emails to get back to. I went from liking trees to being able to save or slay them. And you can too. With a little bit of know-how and hard work, you could become the you want to be. Follow along. We're going to go over the different routes that you can go on in your arborist journey and how you could maximize your ability to get a job, get in the door, and get going. So you want to be an arborist, and really there's 4 main paths that you can go down. There's the plant healthcare technician, which basically you're identifying and treating pests and diseases. Then there's the production arborist, where you're an industrial athlete. You're climbing trees, you're removing limbs, you're pruning trees, you're removing trees. You're doing everything that is surgical when it comes to tree work. There's the sales and consulting side, which is where you're visiting clients' properties, selling them work. This takes a lot of know-how, and I normally recommend going down the production and plant healthcare path before getting to the sales and consulting path. Next, there's the utility work. Utility work is really just maintaining right-of-ways and maintaining utility lines. This work is less detail-oriented, so if you are not a detail-oriented person, this is going to be a good path for you. Last, we have the municipal arborist. This is also on the less detailed part, but it's because you're overseeing a large area of trees, typically for a township, sometimes HOAs, sometimes just on commercial properties. My first property, I would say I was more of a municipal style arborist, where I worked on one large private estate, and we just managed trees in that estate. The first path is plant healthcare technicians. This is something that most tree care companies offer, and if you look up the local arborist, you can end up finding someone that offers it. And this is a nice path if you're trying to look on the lighter side of work. Typically, it's not as physically demanding as the production side, but you still get to work in the trees. You're not doing as much paperwork as consulting, and you're not doing it on a large basis working for municipal. This is a great path for anyone that wants to just start learning the biology of trees, really has a good head on their shoulders, but maybe doesn't want to do as much physical work. Your job is to detect diseases. Your job is to go down the path of identifying the pests and then coming up with a plan to treat the pest. A lot of this will be soil work. A lot of this will be discovering root problems. Some of the time you'll just have basic pests that you see on a yearly basis that you're managing. But overall, your job is to make trees healthier, and it's a results-based business. If you're doing plant healthcare and you're not getting good results, you will not be able to do the work. Next, we'll get into the production work. This is for all the people that are either athletic or want to be athletic, because you're going to end up having to be an industrial athlete. You're going to have to take care of your body so you can do the work every day. You may have to climb 10, 60, 70, 80 feet trees in one day and prune them. It's going to be the most physically demanding, but don't let that fool you. You still need to have a good head on your shoulders. You need to be smart, you need to be safe, you need to make sure that you communicate really well when you do this work. This work is really great for someone that's young and really athletic, but it could be good for anyone later down in their careers. I know people that are climbing, doing production work into their 60s and still killing it. Next, we have the consultant or sales arborist. This is like the architect of tree work. Basically, you meet with clients or municipals, or you meet with large project management companies, and you are helping them make the decision on how to care for their trees. This will take the most experience to start out with. This is typically something that I wouldn't recommend someone with no experience get into. You need to know the biology of trees. You need to know how long it takes to do the work. So then when you're doing it, you're not messing up the sales. I never recommend someone going straight into consulting or sales work because it just is going to lead to less quality work being done, unfortunately. If you want to be a sales arborist, I highly recommend you get into either plant healthcare or production work beforehand, or both, really. Next path that we have is either utility work or municipal work. Both styles of work is going to require slightly less attention to detail. You're not working for people on their property, you're working for many people on everyone's property. The most important aspect of this is that you need to manage a large section of trees, and you need to do it as efficiently, cost-wise, and production-wise, and you need to make sure that it still all looks good when you're doing the municipal side. It's kind of like a mixture between being a plant healthcare technician, production arborist, and a sales arborist, but you're not going as deep into any of the three. When you're doing the utility side, this is going to require the least amount of attention to detail because you are just hitting numbers. You have to get 10 feet of clearance from lines or 10 feet of clearance from roadways, or you need to just end up clearing right-of-ways. There's a huge saying in utility work, clearance, not appearance. This work is going to be heavily physical most of the time, and it's going to take a lot of grit. You're going to have to make some really big decisions, and you're going to have cojones because you're working around live wires all the time. Next, let's go over how to become a certified arborist. I think being a certified arborist is one of the most important steps that everyone can take. When you're a certified arborist, you are showing that you have the biological and safety understanding of basic tree care. It doesn't mean that you know everything, but it means that you at least have a baseline of knowledge. Being certified arborist is very important. It helps you either get jobs, helps you make more money, and it helps you look more legitimate if you're trying to move from one company to another. Becoming a certified arborist requires at least 2 years of experience in the industry with college related to the industry, or 3 years in the industry if you have no college related to the industry. After you get that minimum time that you need, depending on your situation, then you sign up for a test. Basically, you can go to a testing center or you can go to one of the ISA written tests and take the test. It is multiple choice. It's not the most difficult thing, but you will certainly need to study for it. And then you take the test and you need to get at least a 76% to pass the test. Becoming a certified arborist is a big deal. I highly recommend everyone. If you want to be bona fide, if you want to consider yourself one of the best, the minimum is being a certified arborist. You could be a great production arborist. No one is going to look at you well if you're trying to join their company if you aren't a certified arborist. It's just as simple as that. And speaking of that, let's get into the next part that I want to talk about, which is finding a job. If you want to be an arborist, it's really easy to find a job. And piggybacking on the certified arborist thing, the best way to find a company to work for is to go through the ISA and find certified arborists in your area or in the area that you want to live, and reaching out to those companies. And in order to be the best candidate, you need to look hungry to learn. If you aren't hungry to learn, don't pretend. But if you want to be an arborist, you need to show them that you want to be an arborist. Maybe you reach out to a company that looks like the best company in the area, and they aren't hiring at the time, and you're chatting with them and everything else. Maybe find a job somewhere else, but keep on reaching out to that original company, because if you see a fit, you need to go after the fit. And as an employer myself, the most hungry people get fed. The people that I know are hungry, the people that I know want to learn more, they get the most opportunities. This industry is really about you seizing your opportunity, and by being the best candidate, by having a want to learn mentality, by being humble, by being a great person to work with, you can only succeed in this industry. If you're looking to have a job where you're learning something every day, this is it. And if you don't think that you're learning something every day in this industry, well, you probably need to look in the mirror and realize that you aren't him, no matter what. There's a few people in this industry that are him, quote unquote him. And if you go and ask them what their favorite part of work is, it's going to be learning every day. There are some, you go to TCI or you go to one of the tree care industry expos of some sort, there's a bunch of them now. You're gonna see people speaking on stage. And if you get to talk to them, some of them are gonna be the best arborists in the world. There's a great one, Mark Chisholm in New Jersey. Schultz, who's out of California now. He's another great one. You talk to either of those people, and they're always trying to learn. Worked with great arborists, but two that in my head that have like great mentality of be a leader are Evan Beck, who worked for Davey, and I worked with him years and years ago. And then Jacob Now out of Russell Tree Experts. He worked with him really early in my career. And both of those two people are always learning every day. They're always willing to learn from everyone that's on crew, and they're always willing to teach in a nice, respectful way. There's no eye rolling from either of those people. There's no eye rolling from any of the best people in this industry. You need to have a really good mentality in order to succeed. And when you're starting out, that needs to be even brought in more. You need to be hungry, asking questions, and figuring out how you can become the best arborist that you can. Now let's get into the mistake that 90% of new arborists make them fail at becoming arborists for a long time. Being an arborist requires confidence, and that confidence is key. But you need to be humble. Whether you are the best on your crew or the best in your company, every day you need to look for new lessons, new ways to learn,